Humans of the cardboard, Merry Christmas. Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, we actually, this morning, I almost thought Konami wasn't going to release anything because it's Christmas and it'll probably get drowned out with everybody just doing stuff throughout the day anyway. But they went ahead and revealed just like a straight up new archetype we've never seen before. And boy, howdy, it's a weird one. So, here we go. As you can see, this is like the main monster in the archetype. This is NEMURELIA. No idea. This will probably be translated into something a little bit different, but yeah, so Nemur means sleep, plus Lia is a female suffix, so girl sleep. Cool. There she is. She's sleeping. Very cool. Let's get into this thing. First off here, we have Dreaming NEMURELIA, a level 1 light fairy special summon effect monster. That's interesting. Fairy could be searchable. Level 1 light fairy. There's stuff like Ava, Where Art Thou? For level 1s, as well as like Jack in the Hand, random stuff like that. Also, it's 0 attack, so even what's that one card? Piri Rice Map. Although Piri Rice Map has some brutal restrictions, and I don't think this archetype will fit into that. So here we go. This is a scale 8. It's actually a pretty good scale, but 0 attack, 1500 defense. Its pendulum effect reads: once per turn, you can place one NEMURELIA continuous spell from your deck or graveyard face up on your field. And if you do, add this card to your extra deck face up. You cannot special summon Dreaming NEMURELIA the turn you activate this effect. Okay, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal because first and foremost, it's level 1. So unless there's a 0 scale, you're not pen summoning this. Other than that, it does have a second effect in the monster effect that summons itself out. You just have to wait till the next turn to do that, which is not the biggest deal because it does get you a continuous spell. And we'll talk about that more when we get there. Its monster effect says, cannot be normal summoned or set. That does matter, especially, if this is a pendulum archetype, or if you're trying to make something like Beyond the Pendulum, and sometimes normal summoning a pen monster can get you there. Can't do that with this card. Keep that in mind. Must be special summoned from your face-up extra deck by having no cards in your extra deck other than Dreaming NEMURELIA. So no cards whatsoever in the extra deck. That's really strange. And you can only special summon Dreaming NEMURELIA once per turn this way. If this card is special summoned, you can banish up to 1 card your opponent controls and or in their graveyard face down for every 3 of your face down banished cards. Then shuffle your face down banished cards into the deck equal to the number of cards banished by this effects. Okay. So that's pretty cool. On the follow-up, you just use this effect to get this card out. You do have to have no cards in your extra deck, but if you do, this card does just kind of jump out for free. And if you've banished anything, which you'll see with some of the other effects that do want to banish some stuff, this card will be able to come out and tear some stuff off your opponent's field, which is very strong, right? I mean, banish, you know what I mean? Which is powerful. So, but obviously the question will be, how many cards can you get banished face down? Obviously the pop cards are out there, Extravagance, Prosperity, stuff like that. But there's also Desires, which uses the main deck, which could be a little more reasonable. And then some of the other cards do stuff as well. We'll get there. It's kind of a convoluted archetype, but I'll explain, I think, like the main line at the end. NEMURELIA's Dream Defender O'Reiler. Okay, this thing looks so weird. Look at this thing. It looks like a dinosaur. This is a level 10 light beast effect monster, 25 2000. You can only special summon with the first effect once per turn, and the second effect is also hard once per turn. If you have a face-up pendulum monster in your extra deck, special summon this card from your hand. You know what, though? That's just a generic extender straight up. Second effect, if you have a face-up Dreaming NEMURELIA in your extra deck, quick effect, you can banish 1 face-down card from your extra deck face down. And then this card gains 500 attack for each monster your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. That's kind of cool. I mean, like, it's not that crazy. It just buffs itself. So, whatever. But it does banish a monster from your extra deck face down. So this could be a way to get stuff banished that NEMURELIA has up to 3 targets that it can do its effect next turn. Still kind of weird, though, all things considered. Doesn't do too much on the field, to be honest, other than be a beater, I guess. But okay. Moving on from there, we have this Abomination. I kind of like his design, even though I also think he's terrifying looking. So this is Nemurelia's Dream Defender Kuit. This is a level 10 light beast. Again, 2,000, 2,500 for the stats on this guy. Same thing, can only be special summoned with its effect once per turn, and the second effect's also once per turn. If you have a face-up pendulum in your extra deck, special summon this card from your hand. Again, really easy to jump out. Just basics, like good extenders for pendulum decks. And secondly, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Nemurelia card or cards you control, and you have a face-up Dreaming Nemurelia in your extra deck, quick effect, you can banish one card from your extra deck face down, negate the activation. We see this every once in a while, and let's just be honest, these effects freaking suck. I hate them. I hate them. Like, just give them a negate. Just give them a negate. But because this only negates stuff that targets a Nemurelia card, this is just cheeks, man. It's not even that big. 2,500, I mean, like, it's decent. But, like, if this is supposed to be your level 10 boss monsters, both of these guys are fairly easy to be walked over, which means they may not even give you a targeting effect to be able to respond to anyway. Doesn't even negate and destroy, too. That's another thing. Oh, boy. Just underwhelming for sure. I mean, they're extenders. They jump on the field pretty easily, but, like, I'm struggling to see, like, the legit payoff here. Moving on to the last two cards, the spells of the archetype. This is Sleeping Beauty Tower of Nemurelia. I love the design on this. Look at this. Almost Madolche-esque with all the, like, desserts going on here. Continuous spell. You can only use the first effect once per turn. You can banish 2 face-down cards from your extra deck face down as cost to add 2 level 10 beast monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this effect except pendulums. And the second effect, if a Nemurelia monster you control would be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, and you have a face-up Dreaming Nemurelia in extra, you can banish a face-down card from your extra instead. So this is another weird thing, is some of these other effects, like, need, like, face-down cards in the extra to fire off, but Nemurelia needs you to have 0 cards in your extra face down for her to be able to come out with her bonus effect. So it's kind of pulling on itself there a little bit, which I don't love, but okay. This is actually still pretty strong, though. I mean, listen, it locks you out of the extra deck, so you're getting 2 beasts that can jump on the field immediately, but like, one, they don't offer that much value as far as, like, pressure on the board. We saw one is just a targeting effect negate, and the other one is just like a battle phase, you know, buff. Kind of a downer for a card that just says, like, search your 2 boss monsters. But your boss monsters freaking stink, man. So all I can do is sit here and hope that, like, maybe in the next set, Konami will just give us, like, 2 more level 10 beasts, but they're, like, actually good. Just give us good boss monsters and we'll be happy, but until then, we're chilling. And the last card here is Sweet Dreams Nemurelia. This is pretty much the starter card. Normal spell, you can only activate it once per turn. Add a Nemurelia monster from your deck to your hand. Then if you have a face-up Dreaming Nemurelia in extra, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a Nemurelia monster is normal or special for the rest of the turn. This is particularly interesting because with this effect, it means even on a follow-up turn, as long as you have Nemurelia already in extra, you fire this. And now, if you meet the requirements to use Nemurelia's effect to, like, come out of the extra deck, your opponent can't even respond to it. So you just get that banish effect where you could banish, you know, upwards of, like, 5 or 6 cards your opponent controls, and they literally can't respond to it, which is actually quite good. That's one of the things that's pretty cool with this, but also just a searcher, which is cool. And lastly, you can place this card from your graveyard on the bottom of the deck, then target a Dreaming Nemurelia monster you control, add it to your extra deck face up, so this also just reloads Nemurelia back into the extra deck to make a lot of your other effects live. Cool. So the basis here is you just go either Sweet Dreams or start with Nemurelia yourself, activate her in scale, use her effect to get the continuous spell and place herself in the extra deck. Then once you have the continuous spell, you're going to just banish 2 face down cards from your extra deck to add both of the beasts, and they jump onto the field. So Nemurelia or the spell gives you, just by themselves, 2 level 10 beasts on the field and the continuous spell. But of course, the huge downside, it's not even like that's just the value you get. You're locked out of the extra deck, guys. We can't even make a rank 10 if we wanted to with this play, and neither of these cards offer that much value on the field. So all in all, I think it's interesting. I do think there's like there could be something here. Like, again, if in the next core set they're like, hey, here's 2 more Dream Defenders, but they're like actually really good. One's just a negate, one's like a quick effect removal. Then I'm just like, shit, this engine's legit. As long as you just play it, like, you don't use your normal summon at all, you don't negate anything. If you just play like another archetype that doesn't need the extra deck as like an addition here, maybe like the Adventure Engine or something, this archetype would just put out like 2 boss monsters easy. The problem is they just don't do anything actually impactful. So that's where we're at. It's a cool start to an engine. I don't hate it. There's no payoff, right? It's cool engine, not enough payoff. So that's where I'm at with this archetype. Otherwise, I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. This is a cool card. I'm curious to see where they go with this. Is it just going to be the new Dream Mirror, where like there's some interesting stuff, has a really interesting mechanic the way it works? Like, she falls asleep and that's when she goes to extra deck, and then while she's asleep she gets protected by her 2 Dream Beasts. That's cool. Not good. Not yet, at least. And we'll have to see where this goes. But that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below on this this really, really interesting archetype. I don't know how to feel about it. If there's anything I missed here that like synergy with stuff that already exists that may make this seem a little bit better, or maybe just something about the archetype that I didn't note, just let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that stuff. But I'm out of here for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, again, Merry Christmas, or just Merry, what is today? Say Sunday? Merry Sunday to, you know, whoever doesn't celebrate Christmas. Just hopefully you had a good Sunday and a good, maybe hopefully a day off. Hopefully time with family and friends regardless. And it was a good time for you anyway. But I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.